Well, the thing is, I have a question. When is somebody really seriously is going to talk about PenFed loan hacks that get you a low APR and massive amount? People talk about PenFed loans, but nobody really talks about the specific hacks you need to apply to get a low APR and massive amount. Okay, good thing is in today's conversation, that's exactly what I'm about to talk about, because I want to actually clarify a lot of things. People have a lot of confusions. So I want to talk today about the $50,000 PenFed loan hacks that get you a low APR and massive amount. Stick around, boss. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome 30K Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about the $50,000 PenFed loan hacks that get you a low APR and massive amount. Boss, here are the steps I want you to follow. Okay, I want you to follow these steps religiously. The first thing you have to think about is capacity. You need to demonstrate your capacity to PenFed, because the whole thing is you want to get like 50 grand or 40 grand or 30 grand. That's fine. But what is your capacity? And what is capacity, by the way? Capacity is your ability to repay a loan by comparing income against recurring debts and assessing your debt to income ratio. Very important, boss. I want you to really keep that in mind, because don't you come out here and tell me, I applied for $25,000 and they denied me, and I'm making good money. I'm just chilling. I don't understand why they don't want to, I've been with them for 10 years now, blah, 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 blah. The whole thing here is that PenFed is going to look at your capacity two ways. They're going to look at your ability to repay a loan that let's say you want 25 grand, right? Okay, I want 25 grand and I want to pay this over 5 years. The first thing is, are you making enough money? Are you generating enough revenue to actually make the monthly payment? That's one thing. And second thing is, do you have extra capacity to afford those monthly payments? Because if your DTI is kind of high, in other words, if you have existing debts that are actually taking a lot of your cash, you're not going to have enough money to actually repay the loan. That's why a lot of folks, they are really confused that they're making a lot of cash, and when they apply for a PenFed loan, PenFed does not approve their ass, and they're really like, okay, yeah, I don't get this. It's because your DTI is high, boss. Your DTI is high. So you want to really lower your DTI. I'll speak about DTI later on, but you want to lower your DTI. And when we talk about lowering your DTI, you want to be around 30%. I've said this before. It's very important. Don't you try to play with this. This ain't no game. This is serious stuff. Okay. You want to lower your DTI, and I'm talking about financial responsibility. Financial responsibility. You want to track your expenses. You want to make sure that your debt to income ratio actually is below 30%. If you can even lower it, if you can bring it even below 20%, that's fantastic. The whole thing is your DTI plays an important role. So big decision time, boss. Big decision time. What is your DTI right now? Do you have an idea of your DTI? Because we say this, everybody says we have DTI. But my question to you is, you. What is your DTI? The second thing that PenFed pays, they really look into is your character. So when we talk about character, I'm not talking about are you honest or dishonest, although that may count also. But the most important thing when we talk about character in relationships with to loans in general and PenFed loans, we are speaking about your credit worthiness, your credit history. Okay, how have you been able to were you responsible in terms of your finances in the past and now? Okay, this is important. So you got to show PenFed that, hey, listen, and it's not about it. The funny thing is, people believe that you got to have a high FICO score to qualify for a PenFed loan. You don't have to. I mean, if you have it, it's great. Okay, if you have a 725 or 823, like I have, then it's great. But if you don't have an 823, but you have 600, it's still okay. What PenFed wants to see is, besides your DTI, they want to see a pattern of financial responsibility, that you have a financial life that is in synergy with the goals of financial responsibility. That's what they want to care about. So when we talk about showing your character, you got to have perfect credit score. And I'm talking about all three credit bureaus. Okay, don't you just come out here and say, I only focus on Experian, I only do Equifax, I don't care about TransUnion, blah 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 blah. No, the whole thing is people want to know, oh, which credit do they pull? Well, listen, my thing for my answer to you is you want to actually check all the three bureaus, because you never know. You don't want to have derogatory items in one bureau and the other two are clean. Okay, because when you are ready to apply for large loans, the lender might actually check all three bureaus anyway. Okay, so this is really important. So I want you right now, if you haven't done already, I want you right now to actually go to annualcreditreport.com. It is just a website that allows people to check their credit score and reports for free. You have this. You can do this once a year. Okay, Congress has mandated this. Okay, you don't have to pay for anything, and you just sign up and just enter your data, and they'll just give you your FICO score. Or you can sign up for a regular free credit monitoring sites. You have Credit Karma, you have a Wallet Hub, you have North Wallet. So you have a lot of players out there. I mean, even your bank, your credit card issuer might actually give you free access to your FICO score. So the bottom line is you have to be in a position where you actually show your character, your credit worthiness. Okay, so credit card, boss. Credit card payments are pivotal when it comes to your credit score. Are you currently let's see, on time? Are you paying on time all the time? Talk to me about that. The third thing I want you to pay attention to, and this is a third hack that gets you a low APR and a massive amount, you need to explain what you will use the loan for. You see, a lot of people just want to apply for a loan and they ask them, oh, well, what do you need the loan for? Well, I have no idea. I just know that I have a home improvement project. I have a wedding coming up. I have a lot of stuff. Boss, I don't want you to hear. Don't you try to razzle dazzle me when I ask you a specific question. What are you going to use the loan for? The answer has to be clear in your mind. Clear, crystal clear. Okay, we're not sitting here being confused about let's say approximate explanations. No. You gotta be clear. Are you using the money to pay off high interest debt? Explain that to PenFed. Tell them, yeah, listen, you know what? I just want to consolidate my debts, whatever, because I'm paying this. Because this is why I need $35,000. Because my debts right now, actually in the aggregate, they are $35,000. See, this is the kind of clear explanation I want you to give. Okay, you can use the cash for medical expenses. Okay, tell PenFed, hey, listen, right now my cousin or my aunt or my uncle is in the hospital, or my mom or my dad or my grandpa or my grandma, whatever, and here are the medical expenses, and this is why I need the money. Okay, you want to use you can use the cash to make home improvements. That's kind of fine too, but again, be very specific. If you are able to have even a bill from the general contractor, from the construction guy or the plumber, whatever it is, it's even better, because you're going to you can show that bill to PenFed and say, hey, listen, here is the amount that I need. Okay, you can also respond to an emergency with a loan from PenFed. Okay, you can cover the cost of funeral expenses. You can cover the cost of moving, for instance. Yeah, if you want to take a vacation. Okay, so my thing here, you can actually pay for a wedding, so you can actually get a loan to cover a whole gamut of purposes. The whole thing is you have to articulate exactly what you need the cash for. And because the whole thing for PenFed is to make sure that, hey, listen, you're not getting the cash for something like something very basic or something that is not useful. I mean, of course, they're not going to make a judgment on your private life, but they want to know exactly that you are using the cash for something useful for your life. Okay, so this is important. Do not forget this. Do not forget this. Whether you apply for a loan at a branch, over the phone, or online, be very careful when it comes to filling out, or when it comes to answering the question, what are you going to use the money for? I want to talk to you about your income. Boss, when we talk about PenFed loan, you need to demonstrate your income and employment status. Oh yeah, a lot of people just like, I'm making money, but I don't have a steady job or whatever, but I'm making money. But the question to you is, where are you getting the cash from? I mean, so when we talk about employment substantiation, employment verification, you got to be able to actually provide whatever documents that PenFed wants you to provide, so that they actually can move you up the ladder in terms of approval, loan approval. Okay, so when we talk about, first of all, so let's talk about two things. So when we talk about income verification, there are a lot of ways you can actually verify that, right? So pay stubs, those are the basic ones, but don't forget also your W-2s and 1099s, okay? But also tax returns, okay? Bank statements can also be used as proof of income, even though they're not totally proof of income, but it could be, especially if you have a direct deposit on your bank statements. That's a great possibility, okay? And in terms of so that's for income verification. What about employment verification? Well, they might ask you to provide your employer's contact information. Yeah. And the PenFed has been known to call, they actually call the employer to make sure that you work there, to make sure that they'll ask how long you have been working there, how much you are making, what is your title. So do not, and this is just a general piece of advice, never lie on a loan application form. Never. Or credit card application form. Never lie. This could be actually a criminal. This could be, we're talking here about criminal law. So, those are things you never want to do. And one thing I also want to say is that if you are self-employed, because, not a lot of people work for others, some people just are happy working for themselves. That's really fine. So you can usually verify your income with 3 documents. Okay. So bank statements, 1099s, and your income tax returns. So what's going to happen here is that PenFed is going to average, let's say your income for the last 2 years. It's like if you provide tax returns for the last 2 to 3 years, they'll average whatever you submitted to them. So they'll be able to find an average salary, if you will, per year, and that's what you need anyway, right? The fifth loan hack I want you to think about, boss, is your budget. The whole thing is a lot of people just apply for a loan. They have no idea how they're going to repay it. They just need the money. I don't want you to do these things. Grandpa, I'm talking to you. Grandma, I'm talking to you. When was the last time you got a loan and had a budget for it? Ma, Pa, I'm talking to you. Daughter, I'm talking to you. Sister, I'm talking to you. Son, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody in the family. I want you to sit at this table and tell me exactly what is your budget for the loan. Because right now you are applying for a loan blindly. You have no idea how. You're just hoping for the best in the future. What's up with that? What's up with that? We gotta stop that. I don't care. Listen. Hey. You can say whatever you want. If you don't have a budget before applying for a loan, you are just boy. The whole thing is that when you have a budget, you can apply confidently. You can apply when your DTI is reasonably low. We spoke about DTI before, but now I want to talk about DTI in relationship with budgeting. Okay, the whole thing is when you have a budget, you're able to know exactly how much of your money is going for debt payments, right? AKA, hence the DTI connection. But you also are able to identify your disposable income. That's what we talk about. We talk about disposable income. In other words, how much money you have left over to actually take care of other things. You can take that cash, you can put it in a savings account. You can actually put it in a rainy day account. You can just plan your next vacation to Punta Cana. I mean, whatnot. You can do a lot of things, but disposable income is very important because it's going to tell you whether or not you can afford a new debt. This is important, okay? Sometimes you might have to postpone large purchases so you are using less credit, okay? And trying to recalculate your DTI ratio monthly to see if you're making progress. This is important. I don't want you to sit there and say, you know what? The last time I just, the funny thing is, do you even know your DTI ratio? That's the question we have to start talking about. Everybody talks about CUR, credit utilization ratio. People talk about DTI, but they have no idea what their own DTI is. What is your DTI, boss? Money, 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 money. Talk to me about your DTI. Okay, assuming that you have a clear idea of your DTI, when was the last time you just calculated it? Because this is something you have to track on a monthly basis. So when we talk about financial responsibility, we are speaking about a pattern of habits and routines we need to have that will help us actually have a better life financially in the future, right? So we're talking about monitoring your credit score. We are speaking about monitoring your DTI ratio. We are speaking about monitoring your CUR ratio. That's what we're talking about. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. I'm still having a conversation with you about the $50,000 PenFed loan hacks that get you a low APR and massive amounts. And I want to talk to you now about a very important hack that a lot of folks really don't pay attention to, and that's direct deposit. Direct deposit. You got to have a direct deposit into a PenFed account. Boss, I am talking to you, and I want you to listen. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey. Everything is happening here. Here. Direct deposit. I want you to have direct deposit into a PenFed account. Okay. Now, I'm not asking you to put 100% of your cash into a PenFed account. You could probably split it. You can have a 50%, 25%, or whatnot, whatever. But you got to have a little presence. You got to have a monetary presence into a PenFed account. This is important because you are going to create a relationship with PenFed. You are going to show PenFed that, hey, listen, I'm making money. I'm working a legit job. I'm being paid every 2 weeks or every week or every month. Okay. You are showing PenFed that you have some kind of I would say financial stability. Very important. Okay. So having direct deposit is really important in terms of establishing that relationship with the PenFed. Okay. And besides that, direct deposit in general has a lot of benefits for you as an employee, right? Think about it. You have access to your paycheck right away on payday. You don't need to be in an office to get paid. Okay, you have a reduced time required for checks to clear. Think about that. There's a reduced chance of losing checks or having them stolen. Yeah, this happens. People still have their checks stolen. Okay, you save time by not needing to visit a bank or ATM to deposit checks. Payments can be divided automatically among employee accounts. That's what I was told. I just told you, right? You don't have to deposit 100% of your cash into a PenFed checking accounts. By the way, when we talk about PenFed checking accounts, you really want to target one specific type of account. It's called the Access America account. This is the account where all the juice is at. Okay, you want to have that. There are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of rewards with that account. And when we talk about direct deposit, you were talking about a more efficient way to manage money anyway. Okay, so there are a lot of benefits. You get paid faster with direct deposit. Paper checks are inconvenient. You cannot lose direct deposit, right? Direct deposit is free, boss. It is free. You can avoid monthly maintenance fees. Okay, you can automatically divert payments to savings. So you have a large constellation of benefits that come with direct deposit, especially directly depositing your check in full or partially into a PenFed checking accounts. Let's talk now about the last part here. I want to talk to you about having an appointment at a branch. You know, a lot of folks nowadays, they talk about, well, I have no time, I'm working 9 to 5, I'm busy, I have family, whatever. I'm just going to apply for a loan online. Boss, this is not a right decision. I can tell you for a fact. And we've been in this game for more than 30 years. So we're telling you stuff that we have done personally ourselves and that we have actually also advised clients to do. You always, if possible though, don't get me wrong. If it is not possible, okay, go ahead and apply online. Or if you have a stellar credit score, apply online. But if you are, let's say, in the 400, 500, 600, and even 700 category, you want to apply for a loan at a branch or over the phone. because your approval odds are higher because you have a chance to speak to someone. You have a chance to contextualize your conversation with someone. You can contextualize your loan application. You can explain the rationale behind the loan application. You can talk to someone instead of talking to an algorithm. This is important, boss. Okay, so when you go to the branch, I want you, when you're ready to apply for a loan, I want you to schedule an appointment at a branch, at a PenFed branch at the nearest. Okay, bring your paperwork. Again, if you can't do it, I want you to apply over the phone. Okay, so you bring your paperwork, you explain your situation, talk to someone, you ask questions. Very important. This is not a monologue, this is a dialogue. So when you talk to the PenFed representative, ask questions, ask as many questions as possible so you have a clear idea of the requirements of that specific loan that you want. You have a clear idea, because see, people think that PenFed puts all information about the personal loan online. No, no way, Jose. I mean, they just put like 10% or 20%. Okay, so when you talk to a loan rep at PenFed, ask all the important questions in terms of requirements, in terms of credit score requirements, all that kind of stuff. And remember, the banking is done at a state level. So depending on the state you're applying from, the requirements might be different. Okay, and show your financials. Show your personal financial statement, your balance sheet, your income statements, yeah, your tax returns. Okay, and while doing that, you want to gauge your approval odds. So you can ask the loan rep directly, do you think I stand a chance to be approved? Those are important questions. Those are clear questions that you are asking them. That, you know, and the cool thing is that the loan rep is not going to confuse you with unclear answers. They're going to tell you, hey, based on your data, based on your situation, yes, you may qualify, or no, you may not qualify. Thank you so much for your attention. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about the $50,000 PenFed loan hacks that get you a low APR and massive amounts. So, number one, you have capacity. Number two, you have character. Number three, you have loan proceeds. Number four, you have income. Number five, you have budget. Number six, you have direct deposit. Number seven, you have branch appointment. Thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate you stopping by today. God bless you. And until next time, stay marvelous.